everybody, welcome back to Pickles Homestead. Hello, Mr. Redbird. A redbird just flew into the door. How funny is that? Welcome back to the homestead. Today, I thought I'd bring you along with me. I'm out here in my summer kitchen, my she shed summer kitchen. When we first moved here, when we first moved onto the property, this was the first thing that I asked Jim to build for me because I knew that we were going to be living in our travel trailer for quite some time, and we had done that before, and I told him or asked him if he would build me a summer kitchen because I needed a place, I wanted a place where I could cook a proper meal, and more importantly where we had a washer and dryer when we first got here, because I did not want to spend days at the laundromat in town, because we're 20 minutes in either direction from the town, so from either town. And so anyway, I knew that we would be in the travel trailer, and I wanted us to be as comfortable as possible. And so he did. He built this wonderful summer kitchen, and I just love it out here. I've got a television with internet, and so I can watch YouTube if I'm out here preserving and need to look up a recipe or just want some entertainment. So I thought I'd bring you along. So I thought I'd bring you along out here today. I'm going to be finishing up on processing some of the chickens. We've decided. So we had 27. We have 7 left out there. 7 hens that we're letting grow a little bit more, and so I've got 16 whole chickens in the refrigerator that have been resting since the weekend. Today's Wednesday, so they've been resting for 3 or 4 days, and so I'm going to part those out because it's just me and Jim here. Cooking a whole chicken in one meal is just wasteful because we don't really eat it all. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to be parting out some chickens, and then also our neighbor Shorty across the road, he brought us a batch of cucumbers that he picked from his garden and some squash, so I'm going to be canning some pickles in here today too, because I got my daughter and son-in-law and grandson are coming up this weekend, and I'm quite certain she'll take some pickles back home with her. My son and his wife and my 2 grandsons and granddaughter came up weekend before last, and they took a bunch of canning home, so I got to have some stuff ready. And then Camille's coming in 2 weeks, and she'll be taking some home, so I'm really appreciative that Shorty gave us these cucumbers, because my cucumbers haven't started putting on yet. So I'm going to make some pickles so the kids will have something to take home with them. So come on and spend the day with me, and let's get some stuff done. So I think first off, I'm going to get started on these pickles. Go ahead and get them in the can before I get my hands all in the chickens. So they've been out here soaking for a couple of hours while I did morning chores. I had them in the refrigerator, and so I didn't want them to start getting soft, because I like crisp pickles, and so I'm going to get them done. I think I'm going to get them all washed up really good. I think I'm going to do spears, all spears. The other day I did pickled chips. So I did the pickled chips. So got a few of these, so I'm going to do spears this time. Actually make some dill relish with some of these too, because I'm out of dill relish and I really like it, so I might actually do that. All right, the only thing that we have left to do in here is hook up a hot water heater. I've got a gas propane hot water heater. So again, when Jim has nothing left to do, he'll hook up a gas hot water heater out here. But it's fine during the winter. I mean, during the summer. It's during the winter when I really appreciate. Oh, that scared me. Appreciate the hot water. That's funny. The drain had a little spiral and it made a little noise. Boy, I thought something come up there to get me. All right, it started to rain a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna get my spears cut up, and then I'm gonna put them in here and let them keep soaking in water while I guess I'll leave that on. While I process, I'm gonna be processing in my my Instant Pot Max, just because we have a we only have one propane tank left out here. I think that's a good size, and we need that for when we process the chickens. I think we're going to finish them up on Sunday. And I went yesterday to town to get the second propane tank filled, and they won't. The co-op said their insurance would not allow him to fill a propane tank and put it in my car because it's enclosed, which I kind of get that, but sure makes it inconvenient. So now that's something that Jim has to do in his truck. So I need a garbage. That was a good little rain we just got. I think it's supposed to off and on rain all day. I'll save these are the ones I'm going to use for my dill pickle relish. Because they're a little big, and I think they'll be fine as relish, but I don't think they'll be the best spears. So then I've got all the spears cut up, and now I'm going to cut up these. I'm going to cut these up and make them little chunks. I just make them into little chunks for dill relish. And I used to use my mandolin, but you know, I cut the tip of my finger off last year. And that was not good, so I stopped doing that. So I just cut them in little chunks, and that's probably a little bit too. Make a little. There we go. Just cube them up a little bit. And I know some people cut them up smaller than this, or maybe even use a food processor, but I like them in chunks like this because then I use it in potato salad. I even use it on hot dogs, and so I just like them like this. I put it in salads. Alright, so this is going to take a little minute, so I'm going to turn the camera off right now and get me some TV or some music or some Bible study or something going on the TV, and then I'll bring you back when this is all done and we start canning up the pickles. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my mix ready and start getting these going while I'm finishing dicing up the cucumbers for the relish. So I use this Ball Kosher dill pickle mix because I just like it. And sometimes I do add, sometimes I'll add thyme and garlic and rosemary and just some other herbs to it. So I think this batch I'm going to probably add some oregano and maybe some peppercorns. We'll see. But anyway, so just the standard mix is for 2 quarts of pickles, which is 4 pints. We're going to add 2 cups of water and 1 cup of vinegar to a 1/4 cup of the mix, and just kind of mix it in there. And I'm actually going to be doubling, probably tripling this recipe just to make sure that I have enough going to finish everything. So that's it, and we just heat it up on the stove and get it just to simmering enough to heat it up, and then you I cold pack my jars and pour the mix over it and then put them in the canner. All right, I've got my first round of pickles in here. I sterilized my jars. Got my mixture is heated up and ready to go in there, so I'm about to try to pour that in there without making a mess. So I did go ahead and put some oregano in there, and I did, even though the mixture has some pickle crisp in there, I just always add a little 1/8 of a teaspoon in the jars, mainly because, you know, I'm not always getting these pickles in the jar the day that they're picked, so every little bit helps on that. So I'm going to just fill these jars to 1-inch headspace, and then I'm going to process them in my Instant Pot Max. It has a canning feature on it, and I know you can call this rebel canning if you want to. I follow, the reason I bought the Instant Pot Max is because I follow Rose Red Homestead, and Miss Pam is, she's got a PhD in science, and she is a scientist, and she did actual studies and proved that this Instant Pot Max does indeed safely processes the food. So even though the USDA won't approve it, you know, but you do you. I'm doing me, and this is me, and this is easy for me, and it'll do 4 pints at a time, and then I can set it and forget it, and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm about to get them in there and get the first batch going, and then I've got to get started on these chickens. We didn't get finished with all of the tasks I wanted to get done, but I've got 4 jars of garlic and lemon thyme pickles done. I got 4 jars of oregano dill pickles done, and we got all of this chicken done. So that is, don't know how many, so that's what's in the freezer. This is what's still in the refrigerator. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left to do. So I have 8 chickens to cut up tomorrow. So I think I can get them done. And then I have my dill relish to also do tomorrow. Okay, I just want to give a little look-see at my finished product for my small batch canning pickles. I got 8 jars done, 8 pints. I got 4 lemon thyme and 4 oregano dill pickles done. So just want to get a look at that. Looks good. So I hope that you'll give small batch canning a try, and don't be so overwhelmed with thinking that you have to have large garden hauls, because clearly you can get a lot done in just a little bit of time. So give it a try, and we'll see you on the next one.